Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I thought today I would bore you people with making charcoal. This is how I'm going to do it. This is a chamber made out of some old fire brick that I had laying around. It's just about 4 or 5 bricks high with a grate over the top of the bed of coals from a previous fire I've already started. And I'm going to fill the metal bucket you can see there with oak wood that I've already split. Figured I wouldn't bore you with that. And then I'm going to stoke it with a little bit of that and get rid of that massive brush pile over there. And that's how I'm going to do it. Let's get started. Now, when you split this, you don't want to get it too big. One thing you do want to kind of remember to do is not split it too large. Now, I've found that something like an inch round, a couple inches round, that's just fine. The main thing to do is to experiment with the wood in your area and figure out exactly what works for you. I had to do a lot of research and experiment, and this is just what I found works the best because I do blacksmithing, as you'll probably see in later videos, and I use a lot of this stuff. I'm going to stack it all upright in the chamber. That's kind of important, I've found. Not only do you get a lot in there, but it just gives it more airflow. Now, you do not want to stack this tight in here. You want to have a variety of sizes. You also want to have plenty of it. And that's a decent sized batch. Sometimes I will fill the bucket all the way full, but since I don't have enough pre-split wood, I'm not going to do that today. Now, I'm going to set this, hopefully you can see that, right over the coals. Alright. Now, I did this part. Now, do not do this if you're doing this at home, but since I have gloves on, it's okay for me. I'm going to put bricks to entrap the heat upward. Now, here's where a lot of people are going to dispute. That's fine. I'm not going to put a lid on. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to commence stoking the fire. Hopefully under there. I wonder if I could see how this footage turns out. Now, as I said, I will be using brush, but this is just to get it going. Again, apologize for the poor video footage, but this is my first time doing a video. Hopefully the videos will get better throughout time. I'm gonna have to do a second video. And to that reference of a second video, there will probably be a second one in which I show you how I built this thing a little more in detail, a little more in depth. But for now, I'm just going to show you how I built it. You can see it's starting to, I don't know if the camera can see that. You can see it's starting to smoke. White smoke is the first smoke you're going to see. And that's perfectly normal, perfectly fine. Put a door on here to mitigate fire danger. That's something you do want to keep in mind. Keep a fire extinguisher handy. There's always fire danger when dealing with fire. you've enjoyed the video so far, please like, subscribe. Keep in mind that when this thing really gets going, that there will be a huge plumes of white smoke coming out of the bucket. So it's best to do this in the evenings or in the early mornings so that you do not accidentally alert your local fire department and cause them problems. I'm going to turn the camera off for a bit and have you guys check back in when we got something going on. As you can see, the smoke is really starting to build out of there, and that's good. That's a really good sign. Well, that gets going. As I said, there's large amounts of white smoke. Well, that goes, I think I'll go ahead and show you the question you're probably wondering: how much can this actually make and how much time? Well, there's a full bucket there, well, not as full as I normally do, and then there's just a small fire chamber that emits enough heat to get that going and burning, which is good. This is the brush pile in which I'm getting fuel from. As you can see, it's a sizable brush pile. Okay, I don't know if the camera can see this. Yep, it can. This is a trash can, an airtight trash can. That's important. And this is how much, it's like 2/3, I don't know how much the camera can see, but this is full, and then this is, so it's probably about 2/3, and that's just, about that, and that is just 4 batches, 4.5 batches of charcoal. Now that sounds like a lot, but each batch, as you can see from the charcoal, is propagated by the first batch. So you started in the morning, and then in about an hour probably tops, it's done. And then you remove that and you put it in the bucket that I haven't probably shown you, that you saw sitting off to the side, and then that stops it from burning the rest of the way. And then you add the next batch, as I just did, and then you let that go, and then when that's done, you put that in the bucket, and then you let it set overnight. And sometimes I even put a third batch on and just close the bucket that I have sitting on there off, and then you have 3 batches of charcoal, and that will, with this being 2/3 full, that will overfill this. So I've found it to be effective, high quality charcoal so far, and it works good. It's the easiest method, and this way you don't have to waste firewood making it, but rather it's brush. It's gonna get burned anyway. Okay, as you can see now, there is a lot of smoke coming out of there, and that's good. Here's an interesting thought for you: is that's steam and unburnt particles. And that is the, how well you can see in there, but that is the fire chamber. And yes, I switched to that brush I told you about. go ahead and stoke that. Just like to show you how easy it is to stoke. And as you can see, it does not take much. And with it being on the ground, I can even burn very long pieces of wood, and I just gradually feed it in as it burns, which has proved to be extremely useful. So I highly recommend this method. And I will show you, I'll turn the camera back on as soon as this is finished cooking, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, I figured it'd be a good time for a little update. It has reached a stage where the hydrogen gas inside the gases that are burning off has begun to burn off. So there will be flames part of this process. Oh, there it went out again. It'll reignite. There it goes. The hydrogen gas will begin to burn off, and some of the wood will burn, but that just ensures that there it really goes. But that just ensures that you get all the moisture and all the stuff out that you don't want in there. And it keeps it all nice and good charcoal. And I've found that it's just the best. This is, as far as I've found, the best method that I know of for my area to make certain that it's not partially done charcoal, it's all the way done. I can keep an eye on it from up here in this chamber because it's open, and all the gases that need to go somewhere can go somewhere, rather than being stuck inside the barrel and creating a chamber of, this is what was happening to me. It might not happen to you, but it happened to me. This was becoming a chamber of steam when I was using my other method, which was a bucket with a lid that has a hole in the lid. This is my now storage bucket for the done charcoal for when it's still hot. But that small hole, even if this was uncovered, it would stop burning for some reason because there's not enough oxygen, I reason, to continue to allow it to burn. And that's what charcoal is it's partially burnt, mostly cooked wood. So, yeah, small update. I'll keep it posted. When it's finished, I'll show you what to do. And approximately an hour later, this is what you'll be left with. You'll have some nice looking charcoal. And to put it out and make certain that it does not continue to burn, I'll take this lid off. Now this can continue to burn to ashes unless it is cared for. So what I shall do is, I'm wearing thick leather gloves, as you can see. Always wears the proper safety equipment. As you can see, I got nice charcoal. Now it is still burning. So, as you can see, the 2 batches filled that right up. So I'll put the lid on. And, here, hold on a second. As you can see, once it's inside the bucket, it stops burning quite well. It starts smoking even though there's only charcoal inside. So, setting that over dirt to make certain that it does not catch anything on fire that I don't want on fire. I'll take some dirt and I'll plug this hole. Now as you can see, that hole in the lid was put there on purpose, and that's because I tried a method where I had a lid on and a hole in it so it couldn't overburn, but in the end I found that that just turned it into a steam chamber, which meant that instead of doing anything effective, it took a tremendous amount of heat and a tremendous amount of time to even make a decent batch of charcoal. And this will slowly stop smoking, and then overnight I'll put it inside that container, and that's it. As you can see, that's burned down to coals. And if you like my video and you want to support future ones on blacksmithing, please go to gardengadgetsdesigns.etsy.com. I'll leave the name down in the description below. Like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.